The E-commerce Success Show is sponsored by EKM, where you'll find everything you need to create and manage your own online shop.
Hi, I'm Eve, and in this episode of the E-commerce Success Show, I'm here to talk to you about what to do with your online shop should you want to go on holiday. Now, obviously, not all online shops have a huge team of staff behind them, so I don't expect everyone to be able to just hand over all the jobs to another member of staff for the duration of your holiday. I wish we were all that lucky, but realistically, there's lots of you out there where you're just a one-man band, and that's fine, okay? There's a couple of different things that you can do. More recently, like in the last week or so, I was asked by someone who wanted to go on holiday. They said, oh, do you think it's a good idea if I put passwords on the front of my online shop to prevent people going into my online shop? And then when I come back from my holidays, I just remove that password wall. And I said, right, although I get your logic, don't do that to your online shop. Now, the reason that I advised against doing that is, well, there's two main reasons. The first reason is if you think of both your loyal regular customers and potential new customers that you'll get from search engine results or social media, if they click on your shop and they can't see anything apart from a password wall, even if it lists the dates that you're going to be away, if they see nothing but a password wall so they can't even browse your items, that's a really bad customer experience. That's going to put people off. And in the case of new potential customers that haven't shopped with you yet, they're just going to go looking elsewhere, okay? But also, search engines won't be able to crawl your online shop if you have a password wall there, okay? So it doesn't do you good in terms of rankings either. So avoid the password wall idea. So presuming you're a one-man band, you have two options, okay? Which option you choose is whatever suits you and your industry and your brand and your business best, okay? So the first option is that you go onto your online shop and you remove all of the add to cart buttons. So all of your products, all of your categories are still visible. People can go through and browse, read all about the products and so on, but they can't add anything to cart, okay? Now there's pros and cons. Obviously, pros are people can still browse through all of your shop content and all your products. And for you as the shop owner, you can return from your fortnight in Greece and not have a mountain of orders to go through, okay? But the cons are that can be quite a frustrating experience for some customers. They might not be willing to wait until you get back, okay? So what I would advise you do is the other option. Now, the second option is a little more daunting to some, but bear with me. If you go on your holidays, allow customers to place orders. However, make sure that you have put sufficient notifications in the content of your online shop, and you've got like a little social media plan, okay, where you're going to talk about the times when your online shop is going to be closed. Now, technically, it's not going to be closed at all. What you're going to do is on the checkout flow, you're going to put in a tick box, and it's going to require validation. So that means, a customer's going to have to tick the box in order to progress on the checkout flow, okay? But you make sure that that box on the checkout says, I understand that if I pay for my order today, it won't be dispatched until the date you get back off your holidays, okay? Now, the reason I'm saying this is there's lots of pros and cons. Again, the con for you is that as the online shop owner, you're going to come back from your 2 weeks in Greece and there's going to be a big mountain of orders for you to work through. But to be fair, as an online shop owner, that's a bit of a first world problem. That the money's coming, you've got loads of orders, you're busy, fantastic. The pros for the customers, if you think about it from a customer's point of view, as far as they're concerned, it's business as usual. The only limit that the customer will have, the only real change, is that their stuff will take a little bit longer to get to them because it will be dispatched a lot later on, okay? Now, if you think about being a customer and going to an online shop where it's not going to get dispatched for a certain period of time, most people are quite happy for their own convenience to pay for that item then, and they'll know that it'll arrive in the post within a couple of weeks' time. I know, I've done it myself. It's a lot easier for me to pay for something and kind of mentally tick that off in my head than actually go to an online shop where they've gone, we're on holiday, but you can't purchase till such and such a date. And for me to make a mental note going, right, they're on holiday, I need to return to that shop in 2 weeks, you see? So it's a lot easier to do it that way. Now, if you are going to allow people to purchase and then limit the delivery time. So you're going to say, right, we're going to ship it out on whatever day you return home or the day after you return home. If you're going to do that, you need to make sure that this is very, very clear to your customers, okay? So the first thing you need to do is check your online shop content. So on the home page, you need to have a banner or at least a notification that says, we are away from such a date until such a date. Your order will not be processed until such a date, okay? You make sure that that is in the header of your online shop, and ideally on the cart page as well, before customers even get into the checkout flow. Then you need to make sure that you have it in the checkout flow as well on the order summary page. So the customers have to tick a box to say that they understand that your order is going to get sent out at such and such a time, okay? You may want to further support this. It depends on the narrative voice of your brand, but you may want to further support this by having a web page about these are the dates of the holiday, this is what we're doing, okay? So you can pop all your information on there, maybe with some frequently asked questions on the bottom, you know, depends on what it is that you sell. Once you've done that, you can use that same information to perhaps, if you have one set up, to make a blog post about it for your online shop's associated blog. And the blog post you can then share to the other social media as well. So do it a couple of days before the actual holiday, then do it for the holiday itself, okay? So make sure all that stuff is published on the same morning. Now, I know it's not ideal to return to a mountain of orders, but it's not a bad thing either. So take a look at the dates that you want to go away, get yourself some copy written up for your holiday, and make sure that it's very broadly advertised that you won't be dispatching orders till such and such a date because you will be away from your office. All right. Now, if you've got any questions to ask me here, all you need to do is to pop them in an email and send it to podcast@ekm.com. I work in a huge, great building full of people that I can ask questions to all day if I don't know the answer. So take advantage of that and bob us an email. And I will be back with another episode very, very soon.
To read the notes from today's podcast, head over to all the W's, the ecommercesuccessshow.co.uk.